Nice to see you guys. Today we're going to continue with a character that we have over here. This is our player. We're going to add camera rotation. For this we need to capture the mouse. If we remember, guys, we based our camera inside the player. Yes, we didn't set it apart like another object. We are going to code the player. When we start the game, we want to capture our mouse. If you don't remember how to get back to this, you can go over here to the file system. Yes, and you can click over here, player GD. We're going to add a new function. This is going to be func ready. Okay. Just as soon as we run the game, this code is going to come into effect. Yes, and we're going to write this line of code. So, okay, what this is going to do is that we're going to capture the mouse. Yes, so if we start the game over here, yes, we will see that we don't have the cursor. Yes, in my screen there's no cursor anymore. So we need a way to release the mouse. Yes, in case we open a menu for the inventory, or if we have an options menu as well. We are going to add another function. This one is going to be func unhandled input. Okay, I'm going to put pass over here just so that we don't have an error. Yes, what this function does is that it's going to capture our any input that we put on the computer. So we say if event is action pressed anything, that is going to be the key that we are going to press. Yeah, so let's say, for example, we want to press the key escape. Yes, so let's go to project settings. Yes, then input map. And let's say, for example, we want to add a new action over here, and we're going to call it just escape. Okay. Yes, so we hit the plus icon, and yes, we just press the escape key. Okay, so we have this capture. We press OK. Yes, okay, so every time that we press the escape key, we're going to mark this input escape. So in this place we put over here. Yes, we're going to put over here quotes escape. Okay. Yes, and if input.getMouseMode equals input mouse mode capture. Yes, so if our mouse is captured, we're going to make it visible. We need to mark these descendant lines. Okay. So for example, if we have if over here, the next line needs to be indented. Just one space. Yes, and the next one for this other if needs to be indented. So right now, for example, it's captured. Yes, and if we press the escape key, we have the cursor again. If we make a click, yes, we want to capture the mouse again. If event is action press click, event is going to be this part that is marked over here. So any key that is pressed is going to be this event. Okay, so we say if event is action press escape, or if event is action press click, for example, the click of a mouse, yes, we're going to capture the mouse. Yes, okay, so let's see. Let's move this over here. Yes, I'm going to put another input. We're going to say click for now. Okay, and we're going to add the left mouse button. Okay. Yes, okay, so we have it captured, and yes, we can release it. Yes, and again, if we press click, we have it captured. That's okay. So for example, guys, now we have our mouse captured. If we have the mouse released, yes, we don't have a point from where to rotate the screen. Okay, so now we can start with our camera rotation. We're going to add this other line of code over here in unhandled input. what we're saying over here is, yes, if we move the mouse, yes, and yes, our mouse mode is captured. Yes, okay, we are going to do the following. Yes, we're going to rotate the player on the y-axis, okay, and we have this function over here, dec to rad. We're going to convert degrees to radians, okay, minus event relative edge, the mouse movement in the x-axis, by the mouse sensitivity. So we don't have this mouse sensitivity variable, so we have to add it. So let's see over here. Yes, also we are going to, yes, we're going to export this variable so that we can modify it on the, yes, add export of our mouse sensitivity. Yes, we need another indent. We have this variable over here that says spring arm. So let's see over here, this is also another variable. Yes, for now we're going to put over here at already var spring arm. We go to our player scene. Yes, and yes, over here in cam base, we're going to add a new node. This is going to be a spring arm 3D. We're going to drag and drop this camera 3D on the spring arm. Okay, so that it's a child of the spring arm. We're going to change it to 7 meters. To put this at 2.4 and okay, so yeah, I see that spring arm right here. Yes, and then minus 9.6. Yes, this is going to rotate the spring arm. This is like if we had like a, yes, like a selfie pod, yes, for the camera. What this spring arm is going to do is that if we have yes, if the camera collides with a wall, yes, it's going to compress, yes, and it's going to get closer to the player. Yeah, so what I need to do now is, yes, I need to put this camera, yes, right at the end of the spring arm. 0 and this is 5. Okay. So yeah, let's try with this over here. Later on we can correct that. Okay, so we need to change this height to 0. Oh, yes, one is enough. 120. Yes, we have this error over here. It says we don't have the function rotate edge in base null. So this means that we don't have anything on our spring arm. That's true because we didn't add the route for the node. Yes, so what we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop this over here to the code. Yeah, that's okay because we have the first part added. Okay. Yes, okay. So now if you see, guys, we can rotate the camera. Yes, and also let me change the lighting a little bit more so that we can see how to if the player is rotating well. So I want to stop this for a second and okay, so yeah, we don't have, the reason why everything is blue is because we don't have a light source. So what we're going to do is we're going to add one. So we're going to add this over here. There's a directional light. Okay. Yes, so if we notice we have this orange badge with an arrow, yes, what we're going to do is that we're going to raise it a little bit. Yes, and we're going to rotate it using this red ring. Yes, using control, we're going to drag it like this over here. Yes, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees so that it's upward. Okay, so now we can play it again. Yes, okay, so yeah, our character is rotating well along with the camera. Yes, and also if we move, we can yes, we press the arrow keys. So that part is alright. Yes, now we're going to customize the player movement. Yes, so what we're going to do first, guys, is yes, we're going to raise this stuff over here. It's okay. And also this variable gravity. We don't have any more movement. Yes, we're going to code it more directly. The first part that we need to add is this variable over here on physics process. This is going to be called var input vector. Okay, this is going to be equals get input vector. Okay, this is going to be a new function that we're going to make. That's why we are going to get this error message. We're going to add another variable. This is going to be direction. So this is going to be just get direction for this function. We're going to have different functions over here. Just for example, apply movement. Just apply friction. Just and then apply gravity. Yes, and also we're going to have this one that says jump, input vector, direction, and also delta, which is the time that transcurs when the game is running. Then for apply friction, we need direction and delta. So apply gravity, we need delta. Yes, I want to write over here some more other values over here. You can test with them as you like. You can put over here 90 instead of minus 70, or no, pardon me, this has to be negative because it's gravity. Yes, and you can also test with a higher jump value. We're going to start with input vector. For all the keys when you're moving, what is the value in the x-axis and the z-axis? So we're going to check that over here. Okay. Yes, so we're going to start with a new variable. So we'll say var input vector is equals vector 30. Okay. Before we pass to the next part, we need to add our controls. So we go back over here to input map. Yes, and we write, for example, forward, backward, left and right. Okay. Yes, so for forward, we're going to add the W key. For backward, we're going to add the S key. For left, we're going to write this letter A, and for right, we're going to put letter D. Yes, what we are doing over here is that we are declaring that input vector is a variable that has three numbers. Okay, because it's going to be X, Y, and Z. Okay, it's like a coordinate system. So we're going to select from this coordinate system vector 30. We're going to select the X value, which is the first one. So yes, we're going to make a subtraction. Okay, so we're going to write yes input dot get action strength. Yes, right. Yes, minus yes input get action strength. Yes, left. Okay. Yes, and we're going to do the same for the z-axis. You can duplicate this line using Ctrl+Shift+D. Okay, and we're going to change this over here. We're going to write Z instead of H. Yes, and instead of right, we're going to write backwards. Backward. Send up here forward. Yes, okay. So now we have our input vector for X and Z. For Y, we are not going to use it because Y is gravity. It's going to be for jumping. It's okay, and we add another line. Yes, we're going to write, for example, return. Okay, so this function is going to return a value, which is input vector. Return input vector dot normalize. Okay, if input vector dot length is greater than 1, or else input vector. Okay. Yes, what this is going to say is that if we don't have a direction, we're going to get the input is 0. Okay, we are not having this input on the keys. Yes, that is important, so that we know when we are not moving. Then, guys, we're going to pass to get direction. Okay, and we're going to add the input vector. Okay. Yes, so we know yes, what is the direction that we are marking with the keys or with the controller. Yes, now we need to indicate the player where to move. Okay, so we're going to do this over here. So we say bar direction is equals input vector dot edge by transfer basis dot basis dot edge. Okay, plus as input vector dot z times transform dot basis dot c, and we're going to return direction. Okay, so now we have our input vector and also our direction. Yes, now we need to apply the movement. We're going to add over here these variables that we have at the top. The vector, because we are going to use them. Direction and delta. We're going to add first an if statement. If direction not equals vector 3 0, if the direction is not 0, yes, we are going to move. The velocity dot edge equals velocity move towards direction times max speed and acceleration times delta. Okay, this is going to be for the x-axis. Yes, and then we're going to have velocity dot z is equals velocity move toward direction times max speed acceleration times delta. Okay, dot z. So now let's test this over here. But before we need to add something over here. Yes, else velocity dot edge equals 0, velocity dot z equals 0. Okay. So yeah, if we don't have a direction marked, we are not going to move. Our velocity is going to be 0. So let's see over here. Okay, yeah, we need friction and gravity. We're going to skip this for a second. Yes, I'm using Control K to make this into a comment. Yes, Control K to make this into a comment, or to reverting it back to make it back as a code. Okay, so let's play over here. Yes, if everything is alright, we're going to be able to rotate the camera, so we can. Yes, and if we press WASD, we're going to move. Okay. Yes, so we move well, but the problem is that we slide too much, so we need friction. Okay, yes, and we cannot jump because we erase that function. So we're going to add that here in a second. Yes, and also if you see, guys, we cannot rotate the player using the WASD keys. So we're going to make the player rotate as we move direction. Here we're going to make a pivot. Okay, so this pivot is going to be this part that says mesh. Okay, so we're going to put over here this somebody bar. Yes, let's call it pivot. It's going to be mesh. Okay, we're going to say, for example, pivot dot rotation dot y is equals lerp angle. Okay, we're going to make an interpolation. Okay, this is like a transition between one angle to another. So we're going to put the rotation that it has currently, rotation.y. Yes, 8 and 2. We're going to make a tangent, 8 and 2 minus input vector dot edge. Okay, minus input vector dot z. Okay, yes, then we're going to have over here rotation speed. We're going to add this value, yes, times delta. Okay, so we have a rotating speed of 15. Okay, this is the speed that our cursor is going to rotate at. Yes, we are missing. Yes, I'm going to write this over here again because maybe there's one parenthesis missing. Okay. Yes, okay, so yeah, it seems alright now. Okay. Yes, okay, so now we are rotating as well as we turn. Okay, that is good. So for example, if we have animations or something like that, we can make our character turn. Okay, so now let's over here. Yes, okay, so now we need to add the friction and the gravity, and also jumping. Okay, so let's go back over here at the top. Physics process, and we're going to activate. Yeah, so we're going to add this function over here, apply friction. Okay, we're going to break pass for a moment. If direction equals vector 3 0. Okay. Yes, if it's on floor, if the character is on the floor. Okay. Yes, velocity is going to equal velocity move toward. Okay, vector 3 0 0 friction times delta. Okay, so we need to add the arguments over here, direction and delta. Okay. So yeah, if we are on the floor, we're going to use a friction for the floor. Yes, but if we are not on the floor, we say else. Yes, we're going to use our air friction. So we write velocity move toward fraction times Add speed, friction, delta. Okay, this is going to be for the x-axis because velocity is going to be just a vector 3 value, and we do the same for the z. Okay, so velocity to 1. Yes, so we can also copy the line above. Yes, and just change the x value. Friction times delta. Okay, that z. Okay, so if we test this over here, okay, we are not sliding as much as we did before. So there's like a little you stop when you're moving. Okay, we cannot check our air friction yet because we don't have the jump function yet. So let's add it. Yes, okay. So first we need the apply gravity function that we have over here. Gravity, and yes, we're going to write, yes, in this case we are going to use the velocity y, the value that we haven't been using. So velocity dot y, yes, plus equals, yes, gravity times delta. Okay, yes, and yes, velocity y, say clamp. So get velocity with 1. Yes, gravity, jumping balls. Okay. Yes, so what this is going to do is that it's going to restrain, yes, our velocity values, so that we don't yes, it doesn't we don't have like an incrementation of the value. And we're going to add the jump function from jump. It's okay. So for example, if we say if input is action just pressed, yes, we need to add this function. We're going to call it jump for now. Yes, and is on floor. Okay, we're going to skip this for a second, just like this. Let's make our jump input. It's going to be a space key. Yes, velocity dot y is going to equal jump impulse. Yes, we have it at the top. That is going to be the value of the jump thrust. For now. Yes, okay. So now we can jump and we can fall down. But if we press the space key many times, we're going to go flying. Okay. We could want that. Okay. If we are trying to implement a double jump, that could be useful. Okay. But we need to restrict that how many jumps we're going to have. We're going to add the part that was missing. Yes, and is on floor. Okay, so now we are not double jumping. Okay, let's say that we wanted to do that. Okay, let's try to implement a double jump. Just for fun, we are going to add a variable called jump number. Okay, this is going to be equal 0. We're going to add another condition. Yes, and jump number is less than 2. I think I need to add more code, but it's okay. Yes. Plus equals 1. Okay, jump number plus equals 1. Yes, I want to erase this part that says is on floor. Yes, okay. So yeah, we had our double jump. Yes, but we don't have a way to revert this number. We don't have yet a landing logic. Normally we use that for animations. So for example, if the character is jumping and then falls down, that is going to be a bit later in the tutorial. But when we land, we want to reset this jump number to 0 so that we can jump double again. But let's see if we can do this. Yes, okay, so we're going to say if is on floor. This is something else, just something professional. Jump number equals 0. So let's see if we can try this again. Okay, we double jumped, and again we double jumped. Yes, okay, so we have a triple jump because our jump number is 2. So if we set it as 1, this should be fine. Okay. So yeah, you can play with these settings over here as you see fit for your character. Yes, maybe you don't want, for example, this double jump activated at the start of your game. You can find a way to enable it or to disable it through statements, through finding items. Yes, any stuff that you would like to. Okay. So for now, guys, I think that will be all for today. Yes, and we're going to continue next week. Yes, with another part. We're going to see how to set materials. Okay, how to change colors, textures, and yes, other stuff. We're going to play a little bit with that, and we're also going to continue playing with the character to see what else we can add. Yes, and I think we can also see a little bit of animations. So yeah, guys, thank you for dropping by and watching my stream, guys. So thank you, guys. Thank you for coming, and see you next week or later if we have more streams in the week. Thank you, guys. Yes, bye, guys.